How good was Tom Lehman actually? Fans always wondered, especially since he found himself in so many controversies. But unlike others, his career never crashed. For most, that kind of drama would have been the end. So how did he manage to survive it all and stay solid? His career had its fair share of highs, but it wasn't without controversy, especially when it came to his decision-making under pressure. Take the 1996 U.S. Open, for example. Lehman was right in the mix during the final round when he made a gutsy call on the 12th hole. Instead of playing it safe, he went for the green in two. Bold move, but it backfired. His shot landed in a bunker, leading to a bogey. That one mistake shifted the momentum, and in the end, it may have cost him the championship. Some thought he was being too aggressive, maybe even reckless, and that his decision ultimately sealed his fate. Then there was the 2006 Ryder Cup, where Lehman was captain of Team USA. That tournament didn't go well. His team suffered a crushing defeat against Europe, and critics were quick to question his leadership. One of the biggest criticisms? His pairings. A lot of people thought breaking up Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods was a mistake. Some argued that his strategy just didn't click, and in hindsight, maybe he overthought things. And even years later, his name still got dragged into Ryder Cup debates. After the 2014 Ryder Cup, Phil Mickelson openly criticized Captain Tom Watson, calling out his leadership style. Lehman wasn't involved, but since he and Watson were both known for their traditional, old-school approach, people started re-examining Lehman's own captaincy. Was his style outdated? Was he too stuck in the past? It reignited the conversation about how a Ryder Cup team should really be managed. Despite all the controversies, he still managed to push through and make his mark in his career. His journey to the top of professional golf wasn't quick or easy. Unlike some players who burst onto the scene and find immediate success, Lehman had to grind for years before becoming one of the sport's top names. He turned pro in 1982, and like many young golfers, he had dreams of making it big on the PGA Tour. But reality hit hard. From 1983 to 1985, he played on the tour but struggled to find success. While other players were winning tournaments and securing their status, Lehman couldn't quite make it work. His results weren't good enough to keep his PGA Tour card, which meant he had to look elsewhere just to keep his career alive. For the next 6 years, he played wherever he could. He spent time competing in Asia, South Africa, and on the second-tier Ben Hogan Tour in the United States. These weren't glamorous years, but they were necessary. Playing in different countries helped him sharpen his skills, and despite the challenges, he never lost sight of his goal: to get back on the PGA Tour and prove he belonged. His big break came in 1991. That year, he dominated the Ben Hogan Tour, finishing as the leading money winner. That earned him another shot at the PGA Tour, and this time, he wasn't going to waste it. From 1992 onward, he became a fixture on the PGA Tour. Unlike his first attempt in the 80s, this time he was ready. He didn't just hold on to his PGA Tour card, he started making a name for himself. He wasn't winning a ton of tournaments, but he was consistently finishing near the top of leaderboards, proving that he could compete with the best. His best year came in 1996. That season, Lehman was playing the best golf of his life. He won multiple times on the PGA Tour and claimed his biggest victory, the 1996 Open Championship. That win made him a major champion, something that only a small percentage of golfers ever achieve. At the peak of his career, he was briefly ranked number one in the world in April 1997. It only lasted for 1 week, but it was a testament to how far he had come. From struggling to keep a tour card in the 80s to being the top-ranked golfer in the world in the 90s, that's the kind of story that makes golf so special. While Lehman's Open Championship win in 1996 was the highlight of his career, he had plenty of other moments where he came this close to more major victories. From 1995 to 1997, he held the 54-hole lead at the U.S. Open 3 times in a row. Each time, he fell short. It's tough to win a major, and while he put himself in great positions, he just couldn't close the deal in the final round. Even though he didn't rack up a long list of PGA Tour victories, he was known for his consistency. Between 1992 and 2006, he had an incredible 19 runner-up finishes, a sign that he was always in contention, even if he didn't always win. Interestingly, while most top American golfers rack up their wins in the U.S., Lehman had nearly as much success internationally. In addition to his Open Championship win in England, he also won the 1993 Casio World Open in Japan and the 1997 Gulfstream Loch Lomond World Invitational in Scotland. He also came close to winning the South African Open in 1989 and the Scottish Open in 2000. Beyond individual tournaments, he was also heavily involved in team events, particularly the Ryder Cup. He played in 3 Ryder Cups as a competitor, but his most talked about moment came in 2006 when he was named captain of Team USA. Unfortunately, that year's Ryder Cup didn't go well for the Americans. The team suffered a crushing defeat to Europe, losing 18.5 to 9.5 at the K Club in Ireland. Critics were quick to question his leadership. His pairings, especially his decision to split up Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods, were heavily debated. Some felt his approach was too old school and that he failed to adapt to the modern game. Years later, his Ryder Cup captaincy was brought up again when Phil Mickelson publicly criticized the leadership of Tom Watson after the 2014 Ryder Cup. Since Lehman and Watson had similar styles, some people wondered if Lehman's methods had been outdated as well. It sparked a broader conversation about how Ryder Cup teams should be managed and whether traditional leadership styles were still effective in the modern era. As Lehman moved into his 50s, he transitioned to the Champions Tour, a tour for senior golfers. Some players struggled to adjust, but Lehman hit the ground running. In 2009, he made an immediate impact, winning his very first Champions Tour event alongside Bernhard Langer at the Liberty Mutual Legends of Golf. The following year, he won his first senior major championship at the Senior PGA Championship, defeating Fred Couples and David Frost in a playoff. His success continued in 2011 when he had his best season on the Champions Tour. He topped the money list and was named the Champions Tour Player of the Year. That made him the first golfer to win Player of the Year honors on all 3 tours operated by the PGA Tour. He wasn't done yet. In 2012, he defended his title at the Regions Tradition, winning his 3rd senior major championship. He followed that up with a runner-up finish at the Senior Players Championship, coming up just 2 strokes short. His career might not have been filled with dozens of PGA Tour wins or multiple major championships, but his impact on the game is undeniable. He was a grinder who fought through the struggles of his early years and turned himself into one of the most respected players of his era. His 1996 Open Championship win will always be his defining moment, but his consistency, international success, and leadership in team events also shaped his legacy. And even though his Ryder Cup captaincy in 2006 didn't go as planned, he remained an influential figure in golf. In many ways, he represents what makes golf special. Not everyone has a smooth path to the top. Some have to fight for it. Some have to take the long road. And Tom Lehman, he walked that road step by step and carved out a career that most golfers would envy. That's a wrap for today's video. If you had a great time watching, be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.